Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Seattle Angel Conference Workshop Series. Today we have Pete Bennett coming to visit us and to talk a little bit about a tool called Pictory, which allows you to do some editing of content. I'm John Seacrest, and I run the program for building the Seattle startup ecosystem, open coffee on Tuesday mornings. We do Lean Startup Seattle. We do the Seattle Angel Conference to get new angel investors, and a fund manager program for peer learning for people to learn how to build their own funds. And this is all part of that program. Pictory is a company that went through the Seattle Angel Conference and actually made it to the finals, but has since gone on to get funding from other places. So Pete, how about if you introduce yourself and then just dive right into the content.
Yeah, sure. I'm Pete Bennett. I'm calling from London, England. So please forgive my strange accent. I've been an entrepreneur and I've been in the video and YouTube space for many years. I helped build actually one of the biggest channels on YouTube, as well as starting some of my own. So I kind of live and breathe online and video content. I think one of the reasons that I was really keen to join Pictory is because Pictory's growing quickly. The product is getting better and better, and it just really aligns with the needs of both the small business community, but also the creator community. I just wish it had been around when I was trying to build a couple of companies in London, which I ended up building and selling. And we dabbled in video. This is probably maybe even more years ago, but the software and the systems were just not around. If I'd had Pictory, we'd have probably doubled our turnover. And so I'm a real fan, and hence Vikram and I are now working together. So what I thought I'd do today is, rather than do an overt pitch for Pictory, there might be a few sales messages hidden within the slides, but I'd just like to talk about content generally and how to use both video content and written content that I'm sure all of us are sitting on in droves. And that was always my problem when I ran my companies. One of my companies was a translation company, so we worked predominantly in text, and there was no way of getting that content out in a video format without spending far more money than we'd got and taking more time than we could allow. So with your permission, John, I'd like to share my screen and just walk through some slides. It won't be death by PowerPoint, but I think it's good to have a few slides just to anchor. Is that okay with you?
Totally, should work fine.
Thank you. And if we could keep this interactive, that would make me less lonely and probably make it more fun for you. So please feel free to interject. I'm sure Vikram will jump in as well if he's got something to add. So we're in this together. Okay, so the first slide, the social dilemma. I'm old enough to remember when there was no social media, and therefore no pressure to continually produce interesting and engaging content. But nowadays, as we all know, if you're not on social, then you don't exist. What do they say? If there's no picture or there's no video, it didn't happen. Well, we all want to make things happen. And the challenge, particularly in smaller companies, is having a system and having the resources to leverage all of the content that you already have and have an easy way of creating content that you'd like to make without hiring expensive camera crews and having to use complicated equipment. So we all know we need to post regularly. We all know that video is hot, I hope, and I've got a few stats on the next slide just to prove that. And we've all producing webinars, other content, Zoom recordings. I don't know about you guys, but I'm probably on Zoom 6, 7, 8 times a day. I record most of it. Most of it just sits on my hard drive or in the cloud. And there are often valuable nuggets, not that I say, that other people say, many of the guests that I have, which I would just love to be able to get out there. But being a semi-professional video editor, as I was for a while, I know that editing even just a short Zoom call could take many hours using Final Cut and Premiere Pro and stuff like that. Or we'd need to We'd need to outsource it, and that would cost money and take time. So I'm hoping that later on I can demonstrate that with some of the modern technology that Vikram and his talented crew have designed, we can help unlock some of that. So some stats on videos. An average social post without a video, probably about 5% of the people will see it, if you're lucky. I'm told actually that Facebook is getting even more difficult to get even 5%. I don't know, I'm not really a Facebook expert, but I know that as soon as you put videos out there, then the engagement levels go up significantly. I do a lot of video into our Facebook group, and we either post it or we stream it, and certainly we get far more engagement. Of course, it's not just Facebook, we've got all the other socials as well. Business people hang out more in LinkedIn, I think, than Facebook, and the same thing is true there. Also interesting here, 85% of the videos are watched without the sound. I found that quite remarkable, but I know myself, before lockdown, when I used to do a lot of traveling on trains, I'd be watching videos, whilst commuting or watching in the office. And if they didn't have subtitles, we couldn't watch them. It was that simple. But if you've ever tried making subtitles for a video, you'll know that that's not an easy thing to do. So some of the tools, including Pictory, we'll show you later, can add the captions directly onto the video easily, quickly, and very cheaply, and increase your reach. I'm going to put this out here. I'm going to make this this is a question. I'm in London. Does anyone know what this is? This is
on the river by the bridge, which must be like the Tower of London.
That's exactly what it is. It's the Tower of London. It was a prison that was designed many, many centuries ago to hold bad people, but it also ended up holding lots of kings who tried to invade England from Scotland and all over the place. So content might be king, but the problem is, particularly if you're living in England, there was, at least historically, a very good chance that if you were king, you were locked up and couldn't really do anything, get out there, and and in worst case, you were dead. So content's king, but it's no point if it's slammed up in the Tower of London. So we do have a modern equivalent of that, don't we? And where your video content is likely to be incarcerated is in a 1970s hard drive, or probably more likely now a Google Drive, but it's the same abstraction of the same principle. We've already mentioned a few of them, haven't we? Zoom recordings, we're on one now. I guess this is going to need to be edited at some time, John. Webinar recordings, how many people go on webinars? Multiple webinars a week. Video podcasts, live event recordings. Remember before COVID, used to be a lot of people that I used to go and watch speak, and they'd have the crew there and they would do the videoing, and then it would sit on their hard drive and they'd never do anything with it, because having someone record it was one thing, having someone edit it and get it out there was another. And the editing and the dissemination was the difficult bit. Even smartphone recordings now, believe it or not, smartphone recordings, because they're raw and they're real, if they have captions added to them, often do better than very highly produced professional videos. Some of the best interaction I've ever had on my videos have been those shot on a smartphone. Just a quick tip without going off piste: if you're ever going to do smartphone recordings to upload to LinkedIn or YouTube, take them while you're walking. Go to the park, not the beach because it's too windy. Go to the park and walk and talk. And you get incredible engagement with those, because people like to see people going on a journey. They like to come with you. There's a psychological thing, but there's also a technical thing here, in that if you're out in the park on a smartphone taking a video and a dog barks, that's fine. You're in the park. Of course, there's a dog, it barks. It gives you permission to drop your production standards and concentrate on your message. So I thought I'd just throw that in as a little tip. So we've all got lots of video content, but most of it is incarcerated at the moment. So
Pete, this is a good time there's a bunch of questions on the chat.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I can't see the chat.
Yeah, if you want to.
Yeah, let me have a look. Do apologize. Let's have a look. So here we go. Wow. Yes, there is. Right. Do this. I think the first one I can see here is, do the stats change if you're focused on different markets? I don't believe they do. I think this is a fairly global thing now, fairly generic thing, that people like to watch videos. It's not just the young people or the people that are watching TikTok. Basically, most people now will go for a video rather than a written article. YouTube, you know, my spiritual home, the majority of the videos that are watched on YouTube are how-to videos or comparison videos between different products, different companies. Is it possible that Facebook general audience engage differently than business users? Again, I don't think so, because I've never really made a distinction between business people and not business people. They're just people. I think it's fair to say that there are more business people on LinkedIn, therefore they may you may reach a more business oriented audience, but of the business people that are on Facebook, I think they engage in just the same way. To be honest, even when I had my B2B companies, I got a surprising amount of business from Facebook. Sometimes actually more from Facebook than I did from LinkedIn. Ditto with the advertising. I got better return on investment from advertising on Facebook and Google than on LinkedIn. Subtitles, they're automatic on YouTube under live captions. You're absolutely right. There's two things with YouTube though, without going down the YouTube path. First one is that the subtitles are not as accurate as can be produced using third-party software, and also they're not burned in. So the captions can be turned on if you know what you're doing and if you're on a device that supports it, but the captions are not burnt into the video, and therefore you're relying upon people to turn them on. Incidentally, side note, if you want to optimize your YouTube channel, then uploading separate captions, even if they're produced electronically by a different system, will increase your rankings. Oh, I think that's the same question over and over again. Exactly, this guy is hot on YouTube and walks and talks every day. I won't watch that while we're on here. Anyway, I think those are all the questions. Any other questions, please shout them out. I'll try and keep an eye on chat, but Vikram, thanks for pointing that out. Okay, so let's have a look at some liberation ideas for your videos. You could transcribe your videos into written blog posts. So we're going to talk in a little bit about going the other way, taking text and making it into a video. But you know, this is a two-way street. If we've got videos, we can pull that text out of the video and use that on our blogs or on our website for SEO purposes as much as anything else. Long videos, huge long videos. We can break these down into bite-sized segments. As we are always being told, people's attention spans are shrinking drastically. But if we can chunk out key messages from large videos, produce highlight videos, produce sort of teaser show reels, we can bring people into our longer content by first teasing them a little bit and giving them access to bite-sized segments. And some of the artificial intelligence built into Pictory and other products will help you do that. I find this really, really useful. I use Pictory every day just to bring out the little bit of the video that actually matters and then post that onto social. Adding captions.
Pete, if I can ask a question. So are there any tips that you have to break these longer videos into, when you talk about breaking these longer videos into bite-sized segments? Are there any metrics that we should look at when we are once we have the longer video out there? What are some of those segments of the videos which have the audience hooked in and should be converted into bite-sized segments? Are there any tips around it? Are there any metrics that we should look at if we're doing that?
Yeah, I mean, video script writing is a separate topic. So if we were to talk about actually writing scripts for doing long videos and then chopping them out, I can give you some examples. But in if you're just using a video which was produced as a long video and you want to harvest clips from them, there's two things that I would say. The first one is really get to the point quickly. So cut out any kind of preamble. People, with the greatest of respect, don't really care who we are or what our background is. What they're looking for is the value bomb within there. So the first thing is cut out as much fluff as you can, and questions and answers really work well. So if if you're doing it in an interview format, don't bother with the preamble about introducing the speaker and the background. Just cut to the bit where they ask the interviewee a question and then get the interviewee's answer straight away. Q&A works really well for short videos. It's also brilliant for SEO. Again, we can go off piste if you like, but if you produce, excuse me, short videos in a Q&A format, and then you post them onto your website and you mark up that website page using something called schema.org, which is a protocol which allows you to tell Google what format the page is in, and you mark it up as rich media with Q&A, then that's like catnip to Google. When I owned my translation company, we managed to beat Wikipedia for many high competition terms just using that strategy. So question and answers, FAQs. If you can make FAQs out of long videos, that's great. Also, when we say short videos, keep them short, under 2 minutes, if you can possibly keep it under 2 minutes. Again, if you want a more advanced strategy on YouTube, then if you take a long video and you chop out short parts of that and then place them into what's known as a series playlist in YouTube in a chronological sequence, then you're very likely to get much higher YouTube views and retention. I know this isn't a YouTube tutorial, but series playlist of short videos made from long videos, again, it'll blow your channel up quite easily.
Thank you for answering the question. I just had a follow-up question. So I was reading up about it that, if you have a YouTube video, a long form video, and then some of the things that some of the behavioral things that you need to probably look at, which where is it that user probably stopped the video, went back and saw the video again. And if you can get those snippets, is there a way to get that data from YouTube videos or any sort of videos to where the user goes and sees that part of video again, and that's one signal that this is what intrigued the users a lot more?
Yeah, if you look in your YouTube analytics and you look at the retention curve, then you will see which parts of the video are of interest and which parts are not. Again, very happy to do a session on YouTube specifically if you like, but it will show you exactly where people are dropping off. And the way to get high retention is to always sell them on watching the next bit, and go for there's a technique known as NLP, pattern interrupt script writing, which means that you grab people's attention and you drag them in and you keep them in. So, most people make the mistake with a YouTube video of starting off with, "Hi, I'm Pete, head of growth at Pictory, la, 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 la." And that would probably have a 2 or 3 second intro that we put on there first. The way to get people's attention on YouTube is to start with a pattern interrupt. So it would be something like, and this is the example I normally use. "So I put the baby in the microwave." Immediately, there's a shock value. "What do you mean you're putting the baby in the microwave?" But then I would follow it with, "Today, I'm going to teach you how to cook baby artichokes in the microwave. First thing you need to do," and then we're into the video. But what you don't do is you start off with a long rambling introduction. So NLP, pattern interrupt, straight into the content. And then you'll find in your retention curve that you don't get that drop off at the beginning, which is the killer.
Perfect. Thank you.
Very welcome. Anything else before I carry on? Okay, so where were we? So we're going to, well, I think I was down to the captions, wasn't it? So yeah, we're going to add captions to the videos that we've already got so that we can reach that 85% of the people that like to have the captions on there. Reels and shorts for Facebook and Instagram, and also YouTube as well. Again, the emphasis nowadays is on short content. And if you can get people into watch short content, it's a little bit like watching a trailer, isn't it? Who's seen the trailer for Top Gun, the movie? I haven't seen the movie yet, but I've watched the trailer over and over again, and I'm so excited. Is it worth watching? I'm so excited, but if I had not watched the trailer, it wouldn't have got the interest for me to actually go and watch the full film. So you've got to make you all into Mavericks. You can go in and watch the rest of it. But here are the barriers to entry for doing a lot of this, and just a little bit of history there again. That's Traitor's Gate. That's where they take you in on the boat into the Tower of London, and once you go in there, you're never coming out. So what are the barriers to doing this kind of stuff with video? Well, first of all, it's hard. It's complicated. Has anyone here ever tried to use Final Cut Pro or Premiere Pro? It's not a bundle of laughs, is it? John's putting thumbs down. Yeah. But if you know what you're doing and you've got a powerful computer, and I do mean a powerful computer, particularly if you want to do high resolution, then you can do pretty much anything. Problem is, because it's so complicated, most people do pretty much nothing. I've certainly spent a day editing a video of less than half an hour in the past, particularly when you're trying to put captions on. Captions are an utter pain. You make a tiny little adjustment and then all of your synchronization is out and you got to start all over again. So it's too time consuming. It's too time consuming. If you're looking at half a day or a day's work to do a short video, let's face it, it's just not going to happen, is it? It doesn't. Or it's too expensive. You can hire freelancers. You can hire people actually quite cheaply on Fiverr.com, and then you can spend several days communicating with them as to what they've done wrong. Or you can just bite the bullet and do it yourself. But either way, it's too expensive. It's too time consuming. Pictory holds the key to this. I'm going to show you shortly how it will help. Any questions before I move on? NLP, I think, yes, schema.org. Let's just have a look. Series playlist. No, those just coming. Yeah. Okay, cool. Right. So, but what about text? Who knows who this is? Give you a clue. Romeo and Juliet.
Right. Yeah, Shakespeare. Right.
Shakespeare.
So,
yeah, lives just up the road, or lived just up the road from me. And he was a very big blogger. Wrote a lot of blog posts, a lot of scripts, a lot of white papers, a lot of marketing material, a few sonnets, some press releases, and some how-to guides. And they're all stuck on his hard drive. How many people here have got blogs? Yeah. Scripts for videos. I mean, we all like to write the script. How many people have ever tried to do a video and spent hours and hours in front of the mirror or in front of a camera trying to do it without the auto cue? Yeah. Oh, I think I can hear someone talking. Can anybody else hear someone talk? I can hear a voice.
Yeah, I think it was Brian. He was talking to somebody else.
Oh, okay. So I thought it was Shakespeare come back from the grave. Yeah, if you try to read a script into the camera without an auto cue, it's going to go wrong. Here's a little tip, by the way, with auto cue. If you ever use an auto cue, right back, because otherwise people will see your eyes moving. But you won't need to use an auto cue in a minute, because I'm going to show you how Pictory will do it without. White papers, we've all got these, haven't we? Lead magnets, marketing collateral, etc., etc. But again, we need to make them work for us. We need to get them out there. What we need to do then, really, to make it work, given that video is the most effective medium, is we need to do a bit of alchemy. Who knows who this is? I'll give you a clue. An apple fell on his head. So Isaac, who said that?
Sophia.
Sophia. Who's this gentleman?
Sir Isaac Newton.
Exactly. He's very famous for gravity. He's very famous for inventing calculus, although other people say that he invented before that. But he was also an alchemist. If you check Wikipedia, he spent a long time trying to turn all sorts of things into gold without any success, because as we all know now, you need to change the number of protons in the nucleus, and he just hadn't got enough energy to do that. But if we could do some alchemy and we could turn our text into video gold, that means we get one up on Newton. So here's some examples. Blog posts. As I've mentioned before, I think if we can take the blog post and turn it into a video, then we get more engagement. But because of the search engines really lapping up video content, particularly if we mark it up with the schema.org, then we can get an SEO boost. So we can literally breathe new life into a blog just by producing video content from what's already been produced on the blog. Scripts, okay, said if you want to do a marketing script or marketing video, you don't need to appear on camera. We can get rid of the need for that. I wanted to use that as a tagline for Pictory, but I don't think Vikram's keen. Pictory, for those of you who have got a face for radio, but we didn't want to insult our customers, but it's true. We can do this without having to appear on camera. White papers, if you put a video version of the white paper, then those people that prefer to consume by video can also benefit from the information in there. Marketing collateral, stand out from the crowd. Press releases, hey, get it out there fast. It can take a long time to make a video. If you're releasing something new, make a quick video about it and then get it out on the wire. Disseminate via the social media networks. And of course, how-to guides, internal and external. You can also do other things, like if you're producing courses for Udemy, etc., or for your own internal courses, then again, we can just make it a lot quicker to produce videos. All about content nowadays. So I thought, with your permission, if we have time, I'll show you two things. One is I'll give you a demonstration of something which I made earlier. I found this blog post. I think I got to it, John, through your site. I don't know whether this is one of your partners or one of your investors, but I found this blog and I found a blog post, and I took the blog post, and I think about 15 minutes start to finish. I didn't spend a lot of time polishing it. I made the blog post into a video, and with your permission, I'd like to show you that blog post and that video so you can see what can happen. So this is the blog post. It's fairly text heavy. It's quite long. I would probably read that if I was interested. It's not too long, but what we can do using Pictory is use Pictory's artificial intelligence to create a quick summary video of this, which may make people interested enough to read the whole article if they were to see the video posted within that blog. If I can just indulge you for a moment, I will find the video that I've made from that blog. I'll put the URL, by the way, in the chat, so that if you want to go and read the whole thing, you can do. Right. Let's hope the microphone works properly. I'm just going to play it. It isn't very long. Get it to load up. I'll turn the up.
How to rebrand your company with a new name by Synthesis. Steps for changing the name of a business. Step 1. Determine what's wrong with your current branding. There can be many reasons why a name or branding doesn't work out. Figure out what's wrong so you can avoid making the same mistakes in the future. Step 2. Identify your target audience. Create a buyer persona for your company that includes all of the most important information about the ideal customer you want to attract. Step 3. Brainstorm new business names. Be sure to check if website domains are available for these names. Also be sure to research the best names and find out if anyone else in your industry has already taken them. Types of brand names. There are 4 main types of business names: functional, invented, experiential, and evocative names. Each name type can be wildly successful, given the right branding and marketing to go along with them. Step 4. Change your business name legally. Or you may be able to file a DBA, doing business as, with the new name, keeping the old name legally and using the new name as a front-facing name for your branding. Step 5. Update your name and branding. You may also want to trademark your logo if you're concerned about another designer ripping off your design or using it inappropriately, but this step is not necessary in most cases. Step 6. Communicate with your customers about your new name and brand. This not only lets your current and potential customers know who you are and used to be, but it will help users who don't know still find you when searching for your old name. Conclusion. Rebranding with a business name change is a demanding and tedious process. You must scour the internet for mentions of your old name and redesign every physical marketing material you have. That's why we recommend hiring a marketing and branding professional to help guide you through the rebranding process.
Okay, so that was just a demonstration. I think 15 minutes from start to finish. Could have polished it a bit more, to be honest, but I just wanted to show you the idea. And if we were to post that video into the top of the blog post here, then as I've mentioned before, we would get far more chance of being found and indexed by the search engines. One more use case I wanted to show you before we open up for discussion. I go back to my death by PowerPoint, is the script to video. So this would be if you wanted to produce something from nothing in terms of a sales video. I got this from the HubSpot blog. This is somebody's sales pitch for a company called Exactly. And what I thought I'd do is I'd risk doing a live demo. So I'm going to take this copy here and we're going to make a video out of it in real time while you watch. I'm going to Pictory. I'm going to starting with a script. I'll paste the script in. And then if I get zoom out of the way, I'll click proceed. We have a choice of different formats for different social medias, square, portrait or landscape. I'll do landscape. And then what Pictory is going to do is go away, analyze, and find video assets that match up with that script. So it's just going to take a few moments to do it.
And these video assets are in your library. I just want to check for provenance and credits and stuff like that.
Yeah, they're licensed from Storyblocks, and when you have a Pictory license, then you have
perfect
permission to use them. I like to just make a few adjustments, move things around a little bit, move the words around. As you can see, Pictory has chosen video assets to match the script. If we don't like one, I actually think it's done a reasonable job first time through. If we don't like one, let's say we wanted to change these, I can just go in and change the assets and we can search for, let's try Streamline, for instance. Streamline. It's not come up particularly well. Let's try commission. Actually, no. Yeah, commission. Sales might be better. Would help if I could spell, wouldn't it? Right. Okay, let's commission. That will do. So if you don't like what it comes up with, then you can change it. What I also want to do is put some audio in here. It'll automatically find some music. There's, I don't know, thousands or 15,000 tracks. We'll put a voiceover on. These are taken from Amazon, I believe it's Amazon Polly. That's right, isn't it, Vikram?
Yeah, Amazon and Google both.
Yeah, so let's use this voice.
Welcome to Pictory.
Yeah,
It has been shown that video increases conversion rates by 80%.
Okay. And if you wanted to, you could use your own voice. In fact, I think it's probably better if you do upload a voiceover, but just for speed, we'll add the lady's automatic voice. And then if I do preview, in a few moments, we should have a video made out of that somewhat small sales message.
We automate and streamline the commission process for sales organizations. For a lot of companies, that means getting you off an Excel spreadsheet or a homegrown cumbersome system. The Exactly advantage is that we've been in the cloud since 2005. We have been able to anonymize all of our customers' data to allow you to leverage different data points when making your decision.
So we have a video in just a few moments, and of course you can tweak that if you like. This is only one sort of area of the product. We can also, as I say, take a long video, upload it, and then chop it into short steps. If anybody wants a demonstration of that, I can do that. But I just really wanted, with this short presentation, to give you some flavor for what you can do with content that you already have, because everybody's talking about creating new content. But it's almost like, well, why not leverage what you've already got before you start making new content? And most people that I speak to are sitting on more content than they realize. It's just that they can't get at it. And let me just have a look. Let's have a look at the thing. What are the likelihood that another video will have my same pics? Well, there are literally millions of clips in there. There is a possibility that somebody will have the same one. But if you want to lower the probability, you can certainly upload your own video clips that you've made yourself, or go in and select some of the more obscure clips which are in there. Do we own the video and can download it and use it anywhere? Yes, you do. Yes, and yes, you can use professional voiceovers. The reason I've used the robot voice in there is just to show you that we can produce something very, very quickly. Is it possible to do your own narrative? Yes, it is. And I use Pictory all the time to do guided sleep meditations, where it's me in my silly English voice uploading my own voice and putting people to sleep. So I capitalize on my boring voice. Sleep meditations. Yes, you can. Are there any other questions?
So I'm interested, you know, you have 4 different pathways there, right? Take text, make video, take video, make text. And then there's a couple of other choices that I never remember. I'm much more interested in the other direction, right? I have a video, and now I have hundreds of hours of video, of which there are gems in there that are world class that I would like in shorts. You know, I would like to go find the 2 minutes that are really good. So maybe you could go over the 4 choices you have there, and then maybe you could show the other direction, video to text.
Yeah, sure. I can certainly do that. In fact, we could do a live demo of chunking up a long video into short videos, if you like. So this one is the script. This one is where you put the URL for the blog post. So just type that in, and pretty much the same thing happens. Edit videos using text is the one that we're going to talk about in a moment. This is where you can put in a long video and make short videos. And this here allows you to make videos from static images and very short video clips. This one I think is used least. This one I think is probably more important for what we're going to talk about now. So I'll try something completely unrehearsed. I've got a video that video of a Zoom recording. It's quite a long meeting. I'll just see how long it was. I'm looking at my other screen. Forgive my, I don't wish to be rude by not looking at you all. So this one's, this is 48 minutes long. This is a Zoom recording that I did with someone yesterday. Let's upload that. Because it's 48 minutes long, it is going to take a little while to upload, because what it's doing now is taking it from my computer, and then the first thing that it will do is transcribe the video into text. And this is one key difference between Pictory and many of the other editors, is that we don't use the timeline model. So if you use Premiere Pro or you use Final Cut, you've got lots of different layers which you need to put on a timeline, and you need to synchronize them. And if you start to edit one layer and you don't edit another layer, then you lose synchronization, particularly if you're trying to add captions. We get away from that altogether by allowing you to edit the video in the same way that you would edit a Word document or a Google document. It's all text-based, but as you'll see in a few moments, it does some quite clever things with the video. If you wanted to upload directly from your Google Drive or from your, or you had a YouTube video that you wanted to edit using this, then all you need to do is enter the YouTube URL, and it will take the video directly from YouTube or the Google Drive. So while this takes a few moments, I'll just see if there's any more questions to go.
I think John,
I'm sorry, I put a question up above and then I had to take a call. You probably already answered this. It was at the very beginning. So YouTube already does all that. It already does captioning automatically, and it does scripts. Like it puts the narration in, and like anybody can, any video can go and download anybody's script. I mean, I've done tons of ebooks that way by taking that script from somebody else's video. I'm like, well, that was good. I'll make an ebook on that. Right.
Creative Commons only.
Exactly. So I'm just trying to see what you guys do differently. Like, why would we? It already does all that for free.
Two things. Firstly, the YouTube captions algorithm is not as accurate as we can produce captions. It's very good, but it's not as accurate because, you know, as you've mentioned, it's for free and it's done at scale. Secondly, YouTube doesn't burn the captions into the video. It gives people the option of turning captions on. I think the technical term is as a sidecar caption. You can turn it on, you can turn it off, but it's not burnt into the video. So if somebody doesn't know how to turn the captions on, or is on a device that doesn't support the dynamic captioning, then the captions won't be on by default, and possibly they won't be able to watch it with captions. What Pictory can do is burn the captions in so that they can't turn them off. They're just there, and we can make them nice and large, and you can add your own branding and your own color to that. I always say something which I tell Vikram, I always run things mentally through what I call my dad test. My dad's older than me, and he's not stupid, but he's not technical. And if I said to Dad, all you got to do, just turn the captions on. Just turn the captions on YouTube. It'll work. That could be a long discussion. I'd sooner not have that discussion. I'd sooner burn the captions in so that you can see them, and nice and big too, because his eyes aren't what they used to be. Gives you a lot more control.
Also, when Pete will show you this, Sophia, there's a lot more use of the text, because we can use the text to edit the videos. So it's not just to download.
Yeah, it's let's not. I won't go too far until it's finished doing it. But also, again, it's another YouTube hack. If you were to produce the captions using Pictory and then upload them as an SRT to your YouTube video, YouTube's algorithm will see those as manually produced and curated captions, which will give you brownie points with the algorithm, so that you're likely to get better rankings. But again, we're going into YouTube geek territory there.
Right. And Pete, I have a question.
Yeah, that is a bonus. I do see that. That's a good benefit.
Right, sorry.
Right. So when you say that YouTube's translation from video to speech to text is not accurate, and Pictory's is,
it's not as accurate as Pictory's,
yeah, but why is it? Because I mean, I would, and that's my assumption, right, that YouTube has a wealth of data, right, and you know, a lot more different accents that they have access to, because the diversity of videos is just very high. I mean, probably not revealing the secret sauce of Pictory, but then why do you say that your translation is a lot more accurate than YouTube's?
I will have to defer to Vikram on why it is. All I know is that it is. I think it's probably because we pay a lot of money to the service to produce it commercially. Vikram, have you got any comments on that? Vikram, you're on mute.
Sorry, it's Bharat, it's mostly just our tests that have shown that. So we don't use, like, we don't have proprietary algorithms. We actually use off-the-shelf algorithms for that. But the ones we are using just happen to be more accurate than the ones. My suspicion is, and this is something I found in Amazon too, is some of the default services that they use for YouTube, for example, are not the same quality as they offer commercially.
Mhm.
So there's like that difference. But I don't know, because I don't have like, but every time we've done a test, we found it to be more accurate than the YouTube transcriptions.
Yeah, certainly when I make YouTube videos, I always use Pictory to do the transcription and then upload it as a SRT file. Yeah. So I think there was another question. Nope. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. So there isn't a lot more I can show you until we're finished transcribing this.
Yeah, perhaps a pre-transcribed video that you can bring.
Yeah, we could do that. Or if you
And
want to.
I thought I heard John say that, you know, all of these are different methods that go to video, right? Like if I saw that correctly, it was script to video, article to video, edit videos using text, visuals to video. But I also thought I heard him say you could go from video to text, going the reverse.
Yeah. So if you
correct?
yeah. Yeah, so if once this has finished transcribing, in fact, I'll go on to another project while it's finishing, because we can let it do it in the background. Let's say, yeah, let's go down and have a look. So let's find a video.
We have the author of the blog that you transcribed now on the class. On the
Okay,
workshop.
cool. That's nice.
That way we can apologize ahead of time.
Let's see if I can find one. Yeah, here's an interview that I did with someone. So again, you can see that.
Yeah, if you go to previous, Pete, you'll get to the.
Yeah, we can go to the text, can't we? I'm just trying. I always find when I'm using Zoom, wherever I want to go, the Zoom window's in the way. Yeah. Yeah. So this is the text which has been transcribed from the video, and if I want to download the text that's been transcribed, then I can just download it as a text file or an SRT file, or
Oh, so it's just doing a YouTube transcription. That's all. It's the same thing. Okay, got it. I didn't know if it was like going to spit it back out in a really cool format, like it's going to put it in a blog format and get it all cool looking. I get it. It's just doing a straight transcription. Yeah.
It'll do it. It will do a transcription for you. Yes. Which you can download. Or I say the thing that I use more than anything else is the SRT format, because then we've got the timings within that as well. But we could actually, if I remove all of this lot, rather than wait for the other transcription to finish, if I remove all of these edits, then I can demonstrate the features without having to wait. So, right. So this is the kind of raw part of the raw video at the beginning. So when I start talking to him. So where are you?
I'm located in the Philippines.
And as we can see, we've got gaps here where there are silences, where we start the recording. If I want, I can just remove all of those automatically. So it'll do jump cuts where the silences were. If we want to remove filler words, then we can remove ums and ahs automatically. See the O where it keeps saying O is all gone. If we wanted to,
and it's not just gone from the transcript, it's actually gone from the video. We actually cut them out.
So if I want to, let's say we play this first line here. So where are you?
I'm located in the Philippines.
I've never visited there, but it's on my bucket list. I spend a lot of time. If I want to remove what I just said there, I can delete that from the video. And it will delete it from the text. It will delete it from the video straight away. So where are you?
I'm located in the Philippines.
I spent a lot of time in Asia, but never made it that far. If we want to produce, let's just say we want to produce a short video, which is just of this section. Whoops. I can highlight it. And then I can generate a video directly from there. So that would just be, I think, John, this is speaking to what you were talking about here, is that if we've got different parts of the video, then we can just quickly produce little short videos, which are parts of the long video. And this is where I think it's
You're just right clicking and say generate video.
yeah, and it's generating them all in the background.
Mm-hmm.
So there we can have here generate video. If I wanted to produce a short highlight reel automatically, I can go into here and I can say, right, just use the AI and summarize the long video and make it into a shorter video automatically, just by pressing auto highlight here. So the AI is reading the video and it will produce from that automatically like a highlights reel. We often use these for sort of showcasing. So if for instance, the recording of this Zoom recording that we're doing now, we could run that through Pictory and we could produce a very short version which we could use as a trailer if people wanted to watch the entire video. You can see that where it's been highlighted here that the AI has pulled out salient points.
Is there a collection of APIs that would allow you to automate some of that so that, every time a video was taken that you could produce a highlight video quickly? So that would just sort of pop up in your archive of things to do rather than to touch and focus on building that highlight video?
I don't believe we've got that at the moment. Vikram, if you'd like to comment on whether or not that's in the roadmap without making too much commitment for the dev team.
It's definitely on the roadmap, John. I think some of the things you had asked for originally, like Google Drive integration, we're starting to build that in. So it's coming. We're just prioritizing things as they come.
Yeah.
Do you have Zapier integration at any level?
No. Okay. No, so no API or no Zapier integration, but it's definitely something that we get asked for a lot. So it'll something we'll be working on.
Could I ask really quickly, who was the person who actually came up with the idea for Pictory?
So I went to a hackathon in Seattle, and that's where we originally developed Pictory. We pulled a team together, and that was like a really early prototype. It was called the Seattle Angel Hacks, and then from that point on, we built a team and we kind of started building the product.
Nice.
Have you guys licensed this out? Are you in partnership with anyone?
We have a lot of customers. We haven't licensed it out as in like a white label license to anybody. No. But
okay, because I have a software. I can't think of the name right now. I was trying to ask my dev team what software it is, but it can take any article and anything that's in text, a blog, anything, transcription from a video, and immediately turn it into a book, and it will bind it and all that stuff and make it into an ebook or a real book. In addition to that, it does everything that you guys are doing. So I was just wondering if that was your work beneath it. Like it'll make it into a video. It'll do all this stuff. So I was just wondering if that was your guys' engine behind it.
No, I don't think so. What is it called, Sophia? Do you remember?
I knew. Yeah, like I said, I asked my dev team, so I'll have to find out what it's called. I'll look for it.
Yeah, I don't think we do the book stuff. Yeah, not yet anyway. Put it on the list, Vikram.
Oh, right. So if that wasn't you guys, that's why I wanted to see the reverse, going from video to text, because that's what it does. It goes back and forth. Like it can then spit out articles with pictures and stuff and make it into a book as well.
So
it'll make
Sophia,
it into an ebook.
Maybe you can go through and describe your marketing strategy for what you're doing and why the ebooks were useful.
Yeah, so I've got a few hundred videos that we've already produced. And so we have one company, Poditize, that makes them all into podcasts, going all the way back, and they edit them and put them out there and become perfect podcasts. That we also want to put them into articles and blogs. So we've taken things and, and it creates content that way. In addition to that, we also have them as like little minute, 30-second posts. Like they get split off into little highlights. and become social media posts. In addition to that, we create ebooks and then quick courses based on our video content. So if we had, like, for instance, if I did an interview on, you know, what's crypto and how do you get involved, and somebody interviewed me on that, we would turn it into all those different things that I told you about. So each time that we do any type of media, any type of video, it can become all of those different assets. So right now we have, you know, 2 companies that are doing that. This one company that I can't think of their name, and then Podetize, which does the podcast portion of it.
And,
So
and who does the
yeah.
course thing?
It's that company that I can't think of the name that does they started off with doing our books, like anything that we wrote, they would put them into ebooks. And then they added the video portion in last year, I think, or at least that's when I found out about it. So we've been doing the video portion, which does this. It'll take anything that we do and make it into videos, and it has this AI, and you can correct it by text. I mean, you edit it in text.
Mhm.
So it's very similar to what you guys are doing. That's why I was wondering if it was you guys behind it.
Be good to know the name of that, for sure, definitely.
In there.
Yeah. And I think that's pretty much all I have for you in terms of content, apart from the traditional special offer.
Yeah. So when you do the select a piece of text, you can go in and you can hit the summarize and tune the summarize up a little bit. And that
Yeah.
allows you to get all of the unique pieces, right? Which presumably are the good stuff. And
Yeah.
then you can select that and you know, you go from the 45-minute long thing to the 13 sub videos.
That's right. Yeah.
Is there a way to do the sub videos faster, or are you going to be hunting and doing each one by hand?
Well, the AI will the AI can spit out the summary video. If you want to chop out bits yourself, then you need.
But I can't take my 45 minutes and turn it into, you know, the 15 segments automatically.
Yeah, you can, John. I think so. Once you hit the summary, the automatic summary, you can go into the highlights section, and it will show you all the different highlights that it picked out. And you can from there you can just say export all the highlights, and it will export all the videos.
Yeah.
And each of those highlights is then a little segment of the video.
Exactly.
Yeah, maybe you could show that, Pete.
Yeah, this is a one that I did. I think it was yesterday. It's quite a long video, so this is over an hour here.
Mm-hmm.
This is 4 minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'll make it highlight, and then this is what the AI has come out with. The ones in green are the AI bits. Obviously, you can either add to them or take them away. I think what you were referring to here is if we go in.
No, so yeah, if you go to the highlights tab, Pete, on the top. Yep.
Where are we? Sorry.
No, just right next to the transcription.
Oh, okay. Yeah, just let me move the zoom out of the way. Yeah. Yeah. So transcription here.
Yeah, exactly.
You just go and do the whole thing.
Yeah, so you can just download these clips. You can say select all, or you can select a few of them that you really want and just download the clips right there.
That seems really powerful. You can take and now build your serialized thing. Can you control the length of those segments, of those highlights?
So it'll give you a bunch of highlights, and you can select the ones you want. You can't, like, you can say, okay, some of the really short ones I don't want, or some of the really long ones I don't want. You can just unselect the ones that you don't want.
So
how about putting together 4 or 5 of them to get the.
Yeah, you can do that too. You can merge them. So if you go back into the transcription page, you can merge different highlights. You can say, okay, remove that short one, the one that says, okay, so just like unhighlight it.
So just get rid of that. Yeah. So get rid of it.
Is this all displayed with Bootstrap?
Is it what, sorry?
Bootstrap?
No, this is all React.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Was that a technical question?
Yeah. But yeah, you can merge and split, John. So you can do that manually. Yep.
So it sounds like Pete is actively being a content creator in addition to being engaged with Pictory. Is that correct? Am I getting that correctly?
Yes.
I use Pictory like pretty much every day.
Yeah. So how much has your rate as a content producer changed because you're using Pictory?
Well, I used to maybe do a video a week. I now probably do half a dozen videos a day. So we've kind of upped it a little bit. But I use for my YouTube channels, I use the text to speech quite a lot for editing Zoom recordings and sending highlights of videos to people who I've engaged with, you know, on this kind of stuff. Then I use this editor more than anything else. And also adding the captions to videos. I think if somebody sends me a video, then I'll often use their input video and add the captions to it. But yeah, it's part of everyday use now.
And
how much does that change your audience? I mean, this is the point of this, I guess, is to take the work and make the effort of content create bigger audience and bigger revenues.
Yeah.
How much?
Well, the main use that I personally use it for is for creating videos which goes into our company Facebook group. So that has now grown to more than 3,000 members, and people actively engage in the videos that I post there most days. Now, before Pictory, I wouldn't have been able to have that level of output because it would take me the best part of a day to do one video, whereas I can do one now in the morning, you know, literally before starting work, get it up there, and it gets engagement during the rest of the day whilst I'm getting on with other things. In terms of other content, we've just hired somebody who is going to be our content marketing specialist, whose job will be to use Pictory in the ways that we've been describing to produce multiple content pieces every day to go across all of our social channels. My role, I guess, is more in growing the company rather than using the product. But his role will be to use the product to help grow the company.
Cool. Do other folks have questions? Andrew, how many videos a week are you producing on your client base?
About 100. Mine is about 100.
Yeah, and how are you doing that?
Typically, I edit them myself. I put together a script, call to action, needs, and then we go through and we compile imagery that matches those needs, and then we take that imagery and compile it into a video.
Okay, so one of the things I'd like to see, Pete, is, you know, if I compile a bunch of imagery, which is the, you know, more narrowed down imagery, which, you know, like it's all of the photos of things that I have in my archive over the last decade, how do I use that instead of the general imagery?
You can upload it into your own library within the product.
And then how do I keep the other stuff out?
You can just select your own library as opposed to using the automatically suggested library.
Okay.
And that's actually something that we encourage, because if you upload your library, then it's going to make you far more sticky, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think when someone brings in their own collateral and, you know, some pieces of video, does that automatically become part of the wider library for Pictory, or does it stay, if I'm bringing in my collateral, it stays within my
it's private to you. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. But at some stage we may introduce a marketplace to the product where people can buy and sell, possibly license their own video creations that they've made. I know that's something that we're quite keen to do. it may be ultimately that you could hire a script writer from within the product rather than having to go out to one of the freelancer boards to do it, for instance. Other possible developments would be to wire in AI writing assistants to help you write scripts. I've got to be careful. I want to make more work for Vikram, but the possibilities are endless. I think in some ways with Pictory, because it can do so much and we could make it do so much more, it's trying to avoid product bloat, because we don't really want to become the next Final Cut Pro or the next Premiere Pro. We need to be quite clear on where our niche is, what we do and what we don't do, but do what we do better, quicker, cheaper than everybody else.
Yeah, and the balance that as product teams are always going through is balance between ease of use and flexibility. Because something that is completely flexible, like Final Cut Pro, is not going to be super easy. And vice versa, something that might be super easy may not be as powerful.
Yeah.
So it looks like there's 20 people on Upwork that have Pictory in their profile names.
Yeah. So
Awesome.
some questions.
that
You
might
might
be
have
a
just
u-
answered this.
Go ahead.
So go ahead. Hosting. So we do the, where is it? Like, are we having to host? Are you guys hosting it?
We host the videos for now, but the goal is we're not a hosting platform. So
Right.
you should get it out and put it somewhere else, right? Put it on YouTube or Vimeo or wherever you put your videos. But for the, like, we allow you to save the projects and then download the video from there.
Okay, so you do host, that's included. And what's the bandwidth? Like, how fast is it? What's the capacity?
No, like I said, yeah, we don't have the limits right now because we're not meant to be a hosting platform. So we don't have all that set up that you can't stream from there. You can't
We can't stream.
Yeah, no, we want you to download it. That's kind of our goal.
Okay, that's what I need to know. So you guys don't host. We have to.
Yep.
Yeah, the anticipation is that you move it to YouTube or Vimeo.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Or LinkedIn or any other social, really. It's a production rather than a hosting platform.
Sure.
And
yeah, understood.
Vikram and Peter, so if I'm bringing in videos from my own library to convert it into a text form and create multiple videos out of it, so is there a limit on the space that we can, keep some videos on your platform before we download them?
Yeah, there's limits. There's monthly limits on the amount of video that you can transcribe. So there's limits there, and there's also limits on the individual video. So I think there's a 2-hour limit on the individual video that you can upload. So that there are limits that way from the transcription side.
But the actual storage, I don't believe there is there? That you can
we haven't put limits on storage yet.
Okay, perfect. So it's mostly on the duration of the video that you have some limitations, but not the storage.
Yeah, and monthly duration of the amount of videos you do.
Yeah,
fair enough. That's good.
You can do with the premium plan. You can do unlimited text to video, and you can have 50 hours of transcription a month, and each video can be up to 3 hours long. So to be honest, I use it all the time, and I've never busted that limit.
On which one?
The 50 hours of transcription. I've never hit. Yeah.
Is that per month?
Yeah,
per month.
Okay.
Cool.
Of course, if you need more, then I'm sure Vikram would be happy to talk to you about a custom enterprise account.
Yeah.
And that really, I think, was it SAC 20 gets you 20% off any plan for life. That was a very lame sales pitch, wouldn't it? But the product sells itself.
Yes, yeah.
You've done more than enough, Pete. I think you have a few takers already.
Thank
was
you.
Yeah, I was
awesome.
gonna say when you guys hire that content marketing specialist, let us know and you can do a guest blog on our website that you tried to pull a blog off of.
That would be great. Do you want me to send you the video of the blog article that I did for you?
Sure.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah,
So
we'll talk,
make
Andrew.
sure that-
I'll reach
make
out
sure-
to you.
Yeah, make sure that you get Pete your email address, Andrew.
Oh yeah, I should put that in here, shouldn't I? It's ever so difficult. Pete@pictory.ai. There we go.
Yeah, I already sent Vikram and Pete my email.
Brilliant.
Right. Cool.
All
Well,
right.
if there's no more questions, then thank you so very much for coming to this. We will upload this to our YouTube channel and we'll go from there. So thank you so much for doing this. Our summer Seattle Angel Conference Workshop Series is kicking off with this one. I have 5 more slots to program, and then the whole summer will be programmed with 2 events a week for the next 14 weeks. So please take a look at the meetup.com/Seattle-Angel meetup group for more information about all our workshops.